Good evening everyone, it's a new video from VitaminDeej. Oh, but what is that? Oh, it's another YouTube... Oh, what's even the point in watching this? Well, I've not done a video for a few weeks. Plus, let's face it, there aren't going to be many responses to this survey with such amazing accentage like myself. Of course, that may be up for debate, you know, we don't know. Anyway, so let's just dive straight into the questions. Tell us about your first kiss. See, I almost don't want to answer this question purely because of the fact that it just makes me seem like such a loser. While all the videos to this survey that I've been seeing have been saying, you know, like 14, 13, that kind of age. Yeah, my first kiss wasn't until I was 18. Then it's not really hard to see why, because, you know, you see this kind of face. No one's gonna win, you know. No one wants to kiss this, no. But fortunately, for me at least, it finally happened at the age of 18 with a girl called Sarah. She was a girl that at the time I did actually really like, and yeah, it's a bit, you know, cliche, shall we say. We were in a cinema, we were actually seeing How to Lose Friends and Alienate People, which, you know, for a first kiss movie, it's kind of a weird film to see. Plus it wasn't terribly good anyway, so the kiss was actually quite a good distraction from it. So how did it happen? Well, she made the first move. Mainly because I was just so nervous. But yeah, she dived straight in, pretty much literally. Yeah, it was quite nice. I mean, for me, I didn't really have anything to compare it to, obviously, because it was a first kiss. No complaints. I mean, we held hands on the walk home after, because it was, once we got out of the film, it was like 2 in the morning, which was like, what the fuck? But nothing happened from that, you know, we never dated after that, so, you know, not a big deal. She broke my heart! I really couldn't think of an answer for this one because, you know, the clothes that I buy, they're all moderately priced, shall we say. You know, I'm not cheap, but I'm not going to spend all the money I have on clothes because that's not the kind of person I am. Shoes, on the other hand, oh yeah. Not that it was by choice, by the way, because the shipping was pretty much as the shoe, if not probably slightly more. Yeah, I'm talking about my Wheezy shoes. Even though they're half a size slightly too small, they are actually really comfy. And let's face it, you know, they have beards on. The shoe is a win. Price wise, I really couldn't tell you, mainly because I couldn't remember, and the fact that I ordered them like in October last year. I didn't get them until like January or February of this year. It took for freaking ever, and it kind of put me off ordering anything from that company again. Tweet tweet. What was the first job you ever wanted as a kid? It was a bin man, actually. I actually asked and answered this in my own YouTube survey that I did last year. You can find that on my channel somewhere, or I'll put a link in the doobly-doo for it. Yeah, I actually wanted to be a bin man for my first job. I really don't know why. I was like 4 or 5 at the time. I was about to get in the car with my mum, and yeah, I must have just randomly said, I want to be a bin man when I grow up. Of course, then after that, I grew up, shall we say. Then I want to be a professional football player, which I still would like to be, but I'm 21 and, well, don't exactly have the figure for it, nor the talent. Now I really don't know what else to be apart from this, full-time YouTubing. It's my perfect job. Just, you know, gotta be more consistent and, you know, better with it, let's be honest here. Tell us about your group of school friends. As you could probably tell because of the fact that I live on the internet and make YouTube videos, I wasn't exactly the most popular person in school. I wasn't bullied, but I wasn't, you know, the most popular kid in school either. I was like an in-betweener. But my main group of school friends I made when I was in year 9, so I was about 13, 14, that kind of age. And I actually only speak to one of them anymore, but he's the only person from school I keep in contact with at all anymore. But yeah, we didn't really have a group name because of the fact that we were all at that time so very lame. You know, as in like geeky, nerdy, that kind of thing. But at the time they were really cool to hang out with. You know, I have the most in common with them than any other friend group that I've ever had in my school experience. So, you know, I gotta be happy for that, because otherwise I would have been a complete loner. What would you name your kids? See, as a person who has never been in a proper relationship, and, you know, let's face it, still only 21, not really thought about this as much. Plus, you know, I'm a guy. Most guys don't really think about this kind of stuff. I'm not your everyday normal guy, though. I'm not saying that I've devoted time to thinking about what my kids' names would be. It's just, you hear a name, you think, well, that's a cool name, you know, and, you know, it just leads on from there. So one name that I would like for one of my kids is Noah. There's no real backstory behind it, I just think it's a really cool name. Other than that, I can't really think of any other names, because there have been names that I thought, that's a really cool sounding name. But I can't think of what they are now. That's really helpful for this kind of video, isn't it? Yeah. And finally, who do you want to answer this survey next? Well, all of you, to be honest. You don't necessarily have to leave it as a response to this video, you can go over to Alex Day's video and, you know, leave it as a response there, but you know, the people that haven't done it already or haven't been tagged in it, I'm tagging you. If you've never made a video, this is the kind of perfect video to make your first video on. So, thank you very much for watching. So the subscribe button is up there. If you want to click that, that would be really amazing. That would help me out a lot. Also, I went to a gathering in Plymouth the other weekend. If you want to check that out, then the link for my second channel is in the doobly-doo. And it was a really fun day out, and the footage is actually really good, so I would really like you to check it out. There's no pressure, you really don't have to if you don't want to, but it is there. There is an option. Also, something I've not actually said about in a video, I actually have Tumblr now. As someone who used to freaking hate Tumblr, or at least the idea of it, and just got really confused by it, I'm really addicted. If you want to follow me on that, then go right ahead. I reblog some funny stuff, if I say so myself. And until my next video, whenever that is, just follow my Twitter and all that stuff to see when it is. I will see you for my next video. That took a little too long to explain. A simple goodbye would have sufficed. Bye!